Alright. And this was the Gnar game, yeah. And which is the Aurora game? This one or? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So, I mean, let's start with the Aurora game, I guess. What's your thought process going into this game?
The lane is pretty like if you get the most important part about this lane, in my opinion, is the wave management. Like if you screw up a wave and he gets like a good freeze, it's kind of unplayable. But you kind of need to utilize your strong early game and try to benefit by like you choosing the wave states pretty much.
Yes. Like, if you manage to get a lead on the first few waves, you will win the lane, and if not, you will probably struggle.
Yeah.
It's kind of how it goes. You decide to play Ignite just so that you're stronger, like in the 1-1, or?
Yeah, exactly. So I can like kind of force the wave state I want early on, and I also think it's kind of it makes her hard to contest because like usually if you go TP in this matchup, she can even contest with Q start, just basing attacking you because you don't have enough movement speed to get out of attack range.
Yeah.
So I think like Ignite is pretty good because then they can't like pressure you with Q early on.
Yeah, I think it's like if you decide to play Electrocute, then yeah, I agree. You should go Ignite. If you decide to do Fleet, then she can't really jump on you level 1, but you will have less damage in general, right? So.
Yeah.
And I mean, this game is kind of fine, right? Because enemy's playing Kha'Zix, and if this Kha'Zix level 3 ganks you, well, I don't know what he's doing. And Jarvan can easily path towards topside, so we're chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is completely fine. I was gonna say, like, if we want to, we can start in the bush, and then it's like, if she decides to, like, in this bush, and if she decides to start in river, like, we will just walk down and zone off the wave this way, and she's really unable to play them.
Yeah.
But it's fine as well.
Accept it's not for fun, player.
Thank you for the follow. This is fine. And it's like in general, if we can get leads like this, like the lane is really playable, right? And like level 1, she can't really do much. Especially when she starts the...
Yeah, I think I zoned her from 5 million XP, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
Or 6 actually. Even if I lose some CS for it, it's always good, I think.
And this, I mean, I would just be a bit careful of this, because like in general, what we want to do right now is crash as big of a wave as possible, right? So that we either can reset off it or just bully our under tower, agreed?
Yeah.
So we want to push as slow as possible. And it's like, one thing is that when we walk forward here, you see our melee minion dying. Since we're closer to some of the creeps than our own creeps are, we take minion aggro. You see what I mean?
That's true. That is true.
Better to position on this side, just for that sake, right?
Yeah.
And like here is similar thing, right? It's like, or not similar thing, but it's like, I get that we have to back off when the next wave comes, but because we're standing on the bottom side instead of the top side, we have to back up further, right? Because she can't even stand up here right now if we're standing over here.
Yeah.
I mean, she could use her ward if she really wants to, but then we get the ward and we're chilling, kind of.
Yeah, but I think there is one benefit of like staying on the bottom side, because then it just makes it harder if I get gank level 3, right? Because I'm kinda stuck in lane if I play top push here.
Yes, it can be, for sure. Like, as long as, I mean, now I feel like it's fine, right? Because this guy is still level 1 in that sense, right? So we're chilling either way. If Kha'Zix comes, I think we 1v2 them.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. And it's like, especially maybe if it's like a Rek'Sai, or if this Irelia didn't lose 5 minutes of XP, etc. And it's like, honestly, what I would do at this point is that I would just ping the Jarvan to look for a dive, because I think we just kill her here, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And he might not listen. That's like very possible. It's solo queue, but I would still ping it to give him the option in a sense.
Yeah. That's true. But I think it's kind of good though that he went to mid, because our mid laner was mega struggling early on.
Yeah, it can be good.
And he will be fucked either way on like, okay, I will not curse, but he will be screwed either way.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he will get screwed either way because like the wave is pushing towards me, right? So I will catch it and not let it crash.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's the same like kind of state, right? He's just screwed, as you say.
Yeah, exactly. And here I pinged him up beforehand.
Yeah, it's good.
Because I'm not sure if I should ignite early, but I think like, yeah, maybe I should not ignite here. Maybe that's Griff.
I mean, I think like if you think she can get out like here, like it can be fine. But right now she's just playing to push the wave, right? So I think it's fine to not ignite in that sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's a bit overkill. We probably don't need the ignite, but if like Kha'Zix comes up ever, like maybe it's a difference of one between them or not.
I think if you go back here, I think I pinged him to go Gromp before this play.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I wanted him to delay the play as long as possible, because like she will have to step up to the wave eventually, and I think like Gromp is free if you just wait.
Yeah.
Can lock her in the wave. But I think it's still fine. I should probably not flash her though.
Yeah,
it's bad.
I mean, you can QE flash if you really want to, like, and then you get the slow as well, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a bit awkward to, like, E-flash, right, because you're not gonna kill her straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I assume we're just gonna slow push this and reset again, or?
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, here, I think the main thing here is that, like, once again, I don't think we should be scared of anything agreed. Like, even if Kha'Zix comes, like, he's probably not gonna kill us, because one, we have, like, a ward, right? And it's like, I mean, Scuttle despawn now, and it's like, most likely they will not kill us, agreed? Worst case, we can ult out when we get ult.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't see the benefit of standing where we are right now, instead of standing, like, right here.
Yeah, true.
Because
that is true.
This guy should not be in XP range at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only concern here is like it shouldn't happen, but like if he plays bush gank on the bounce.
Yeah, and if we're really scared of that, like we have 2 wards, like for all I care, we walk into this bush and then we ward the next one.
Yeah, I think that's the best play actually, to just play bushes and then ward middle bush.
And very, very worst case, we can always ult out. Like we're not actually gankable, but it sucks if we have to ult, right? Like our lane is kind of fucked from it, so I get that part. And I mean, here I would almost consider just flat out ulting her already, but we won't kill her, but she's gonna be quite low.
Yeah, true, and then I can play bounce maybe.
Yeah, you can either play bounce or like you can ping Jarvan to go dive, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the only time we don't do that is if we're scared of like potentially getting ganked after we do that.
Yeah, because like like in my head here, I think he tried to hold wave here, and then I used it to chunk actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I think what I would have done is just W and Q out of the bush and then play it slow. And then, like, when you get the first chunk, then you can ult her on their tower on the next one.
Yeah.
But
I did one misplay here though, because like if you go back, my mindset here was locking him into minions. So like he would take full minion aggro. But I went too like far forward.
Right. Yeah, because
so
it's like... You go.
Yeah, he would like take like 200 more damage if all casters could hit him.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. That would have been, like, in a sense, a better play. I mean, he's still Aurelia, so he's probably just gonna one-tap the wave for fun, but I agree with you. I mean, this is fine. I wouldn't hard shove here, right? Like, just because he can't really step up, and it's like, even if we do manage to get the wave on the tower, I don't think we're killing him, so...
Yep.
And honestly, I would just stand on top of my melee creep, probably, like right here.
Yeah, true.
It's like, he's probably not gonna step up either way, he doesn't really have a reason to, but like here we get an out-tech in for it, for example.
Yeah. Like here, my thought process was like, since I got a good trade before, the only like risk is like him hitting level 6 maybe, but I think he's pretty far because I got the XP lead.
Yeah, you go.
Like half, probably. But I was playing for the Ignite and then dive.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think if you get Ignite, even if it's level 6, I think we win here.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing here is like, when we take minion aggro here, like, instead of walking beneath your minion here, like you do, you walk through your minions, then you de-aggro them.
Yeah, yeah. I actually didn't know that worked like that.
No, it's like if they're close to maximum of the range, like enemy creeps, and you walk through your own creeps, then you will de-aggro.
Ah.
But most people don't know it.
Yeah. This was maybe a slight mistake. I think I should delay it a bit more before crashing, because I knew Yaron was on grubs, and we should play this dive.
I mean, I think we have the option to, right? I mean, Kha'Zix can be topside again as well, right? So maybe we don't want to play the dive for that reason.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think it can be fine. Like, it's just dependent on what we want to do, right? And it's like, we can still deny, or like delay it in a sense. Like, there's a few questions, right? Like, one is like, okay, can we dive it? And then we want to look for it. And then it's like, we can maybe dive it and just like, if Kha'Zix shows up, we just don't dive it, you know? Yeah, it's like, also like, what is our base, right? Like, if we want Sorks here, then I think it can be fine, right? Like, you buy here. If we prefer use flat AP, then flat AP is better, I would say.
Yeah. I really like Boots Rush versus Irelia, because it's all about spacing and nuking her E and ult. So I think like Boot is really, really insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it can be fine. I think the main, or like the two things to consider is like, one, she went cloak, right? So it has a bit less value in that sense. And the other thing is that we're kind of just flat out stronger than her, so we don't even need to space her, I think. Like, as long as we have Ignite, I think we just win the all-in.
Yep.
What are we building this game, by the way?
Leandris into Cosmic.
Okay. I don't mind the build. I've been liking Malignance more when I go Electrocute, but it's a bit game dependent in general.
Yeah.
And generally, as well, I like personally going Ionia Boots if I'm going what's called Liandry Rush, because I feel like you have less CDR in general, but you have Ult Hunters. It's not like the end of the world in that sense.
Yeah.
But it's what I like personally, and doesn't mean it's the best, but yeah.
Yeah, I think like Leanders with Sorks is really good if you get Shadow Flame, because then you get like really high burn damage, really high.
Yeah, I mean, she's just dead here.
Yeah.
Alright, what is the plan now?
Now the plan is pretty much like I'm probably shielding until, like, I'm just poking and playing pretty safe until I get ult, probably, because I still think like if Kha'Zix comes, I can die when I don't have ult up.
Yes.
But now I see them on Drake, so now I have pretty free poke.
Yes, like what I would... Yeah, go.
Yeah, Irelia doesn't have ult, right, so she's pretty weak.
Yes. It's like what I would do in general here is that obviously we see the Kha'Zix here, like you say, so it's like you're shilling right now. So generally evaluate like when you need to have a ward placed, or like when you need to like feel safe in lane, right, in that sense. Because right now you're safe in lane, agreed? Like Taliyah is showing bot side, Kha'Zix just gank bot lane, you're completely shilling, agreed?
Yeah.
So how long are you shilling for, do you think?
Like 50 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
he
50 seconds. Like, if he resets and rushes insta-top, it's like maybe 30 seconds, but he probably doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're safe on this wave, agreed?
Yeah.
So we slow push on this wave, agreed?
Yeah, and bounce next one. And
yeah,
then let
bounce
it
next one,
us.
go for a ward while it's, like, while we bounce it, right? And then like, we feel safe on the bounce, in that sense. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then the only thing we have to be careful of is getting lane ganked, but yeah.
Yeah, I think also like after, not this wave, but second wave, after that wave, I think also like then I can start playing aggressive again, because then I have ult, right? So
yes. Like, we can play slightly aggressive in a sense, but we have to play like tight and aggressive. Like, we cannot just play in their face, because then we can get ganked and die, right? So it's like...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the roam if we think we're gonna get something out of it. Considering we don't have ult, it's like not as great as it could be, right? But it's like a fine move, right? Like, we have the timer, so I don't hate it too much. It's like these timers we can win the game off, so I don't hate it. And it's like similar thing as before, right? I just don't see the reason to why we're standing back here instead of his further up. Agreed?
Yeah.
It's like if we sometimes need to like see us, like, because like minions, like for example this melee just decides to go into your backline for fun. Like, we have the option of either just going back when we need to, skipping it, or we can just kill it right now. like for all I care, to just get rid of it.
Yep. I think he used her E here, so I capitalize a bit on poke.
Yeah. I think she might die here if we ult ignite.
Yeah, true. But I'm kind of not in a rush. I think like delaying Death Timer is also good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Actually, can't play here either way, so if we feel like we still kill her, then that's fine. If she backs off and TPs here, then it's maybe a bit awkward in that sense, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she TP'd earlier or not, I didn't look exactly.
I think you TP'd earlier.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. No, she has TP. But either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much in that sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess she could maybe like TP.
But I think even then we can potentially dive her. Like she's just so weak.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. That is true.
I mean, I would just step up into her face. If she doesn't have stacks right now, like she can play.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, I was scared of Kha'Zix since she played
yeah, that's
very
fair.
aggressive.
That's fair, because we saw Kha'Zix earlier. Like, otherwise we can kill her here, but yeah.
Yeah, like I would ult there if I had vision.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bait myself into a bad state.
No, this is fine, and the wave state's still fine for you, so you can still all in her here or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, still can't play so.
Do you think that was good? The one thing I did there before, like I grabbed the wave because I'm not sure like what Jarvan's plan was.
What
like
do you mean,
in case?
like here?
No, further. I think it was further. Yeah, here.
Ah, I see. Oh, you mean like so that if in case you need to leave, like for grubs?
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
Fine.
As well as like making Irelia has to step up because the wave is pushing towards me, right? So
yeah, it's fine. I think if it's not a cannon wave, it doesn't matter too much. But cannon wave is kind of RNG, so it just minimizes the RNG in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with it.
I mean, it's a bit unlucky, but yeah. It's fine. It's good that you wait, but I would have procced it a bit earlier to get the electrocute. It's just minor thing.
Yeah. How long can you wait to get the electrocute?
What is
I actually don't know.
Is it 3 or 2 seconds? I'm not sure. I think it's 2 seconds.
But like on the timer on the queue, like the meter thingy.
It depends on when your first attack was, right? In that sense.
Yeah,
like you need to land like 3 attacks, right? So it's like if you queue first here, like I think it's probably like here you need to queue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the game is quite simple from here. We just take basically every fight we see.
Yeah, exactly. And play on every ult, just open sides and mid.
Is there anything more you think is worth looking for
No,
this game?
I think after this game it's like one team fight where I get a good ult, but it doesn't like it was on a lane phase. That's relevant, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Then for this game, what are you thinking coming into lane?
I think like I should minimize the amounts of trading he can do into me while trying to choose the wave states, because the thing is like when he plays Ignite, the only like real opportunity he has is if like I'm half health and he can like flash on me with ult. So like limit the amount of health he can trade into me, and then try to get good wave states.
Yeah, sounds good. It's like again, yeah, go on.
Garen is like pretty useless, honestly. Like if you just don't trade health into him and try to minimize his passive,
yeah,
try to like poke him.
This matchup is very hard for Garen in general.
Yeah.
So level 1, like preferably, if we can have control of this middle bush, it does a lot, I would say.
Yeah.
Here, in a sense, we've already given it up. Like, because I understand if we don't want a ward, I think enemy junglers like Nidalee, right? So we don't really know what she's gonna look for. She doesn't really have a bot lane to play through either, so she could just gank bottom top if she sees an angle. It's like, I wouldn't want to use my ward on this bush. I understand why we don't do it, but it's like, if we can like check it early or something like that, you know, it would be nice.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's like one thing bone plating potentially could do. I don't like going bone plating personally in this matchup, but it's like that you can just face check him level 1 and you don't give a shit, you will just win the trade anyways.
Yeah. But I think like, yeah, bone plating is like really bad against Garen, I think. Like, because it only procs on the first Q.
Yeah, no, I mean, it procs on the Q and then it's like, I mean, it procs per spin, I'm fairly certain.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Sure? Okay, then maybe I'm stupid, but yeah.
100%.
Okay. No, but it's like, I don't like bone plating in general in this matchup, like, but it's like something you can do, right? Like, if you want to play for the level 1, but yeah. Normally I would just like, it's fine if you want to cover early in that sense. But at some point, like, when you know they're not invading anyways, I would just go into the top lane bush.
Yep. Do you think here, by the way, is it better? Because I think because of that, I went Overgrowth, Demolish. Do you think it's better to go Demolish, Conditioning?
No, I think Overgrowth is better.
Okay.
Because usually on your champion, you're gonna build items like Styrax, and you're gonna build like Cleaver, etc. And so I think Overgrowth is just better.
Yep. Overgrowth is also better versus Garen.
Yes.
Because of his ult.
And it's like, maybe if they're like, I don't know, full AD, then it could be worth it, but I usually just like Overgrowth more than Conditioning personally.
Yeah.
I think it just does more.
Yeah.
If we're gonna like reset here anyways, I just want us to hard throw this wave. Like, there's no reason to delay it, right? Because we can just, I mean, I guess we didn't have Q here, but we could just like WE already and like basically one tap the wave.
Yeah, it's true. I just wanted to get as many CS as I could, I think.
Yeah, no, that's fair, right? But yeah. Or what is the plan now?
Trying to hostage him in lane, pretty much.
Yep.
Since he go Ignite.
So it's like a minor thing, but if you're like, because we're planning on freezing on him, right? In general, melee creeps are way tankier than range creeps, agreed?
Yeah.
But they deal less damage, right? So if you want to hold a freeze, you want as many melee creeps on enemy team as possible, but as few range creeps, right? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Because these hold the freeze, and these push.
Yeah.
So if we have the option to here, hit the range creep instead of a melee creep, I would rather hit the range creep in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a minor thing, and it's not super easy to do. If you think it's like, whatever, I'll just push melee creeps anyways, that's fine. But it's just like, if we had the option to do so.
Yeah. I think it's because I'm like used to, like I've learned how strong the range creeps are.
Yes.
In like holding a freeze. So I think that's why. Maybe if I start doing it with the range creeps that I kill them first, I probably will screw up some freezes, I think, because I'm not used to the damage output of melees.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure we need to E out here.
Yeah, probably not. But I think it's also good because attack speed. Like,
yes.
If I want to trim the wave.
No, that I get. But I just mean that if we really want to, I think we could even E on him and just kill him here.
Yeah, true.
Like, and if we're scared of Nidalee, that's fine. Like, we see what's going on bot lane right now, and Nidalee's not showing up. So, like, in that case, like, let's not do it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, in general here, like, when we have this kind of HP lead, like, already, and we're, like, starting to take a good trade, and we're going into Mega, this is, like, prime fight time for us to fight, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, I don't think we will ever die from it unless we get ganked on that timer. And even if we don't kill him, like, he will be stuck in lane. Worst case, we can TP at some point.
Yeah. But I have a pretty weird view of these kind of situations, because I feel like not killing your opponent in these situations is also really, really, really good, because you're denying even more CS.
Yes.
Because you can't really walk up. So like
yes.
Sometimes not killing creates better leads.
Yes,
like
much. He will fall further behind.
Yeah, exactly. Because he will die either way, like, if I play it correctly.
And so generally what we have to look at is like generally like a curve, right? If your champion scales better than this champion, generally it's better for you to enable yourself compared to like disable him. Make sense?
Yeah.
Because you want to curve as fast as possible, right? And another thing is that while I do think this is good gameplay and it's really good for competitive play especially, I do think sometimes it can be a bit bad in solo queue, because you're not just racing against this guy and putting him behind, you have to get ahead of whatever's going on this side of the map.
Yeah, it's true.
Because some games you will be up 50 CS, but you will not be ahead of the curve, he will just be behind of the curve, and then enemy ADC will be 10-0, and you're like, what the fuck is going on, bro? And on top of that, it's like, I get what you mean, but even if we were to kill him, like let's say right here, right? We would still be ahead of tempo of him, right? Because we have TP advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
So in that sense, like killing him won't stop us from disabling him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this are pretty good. Here, if we can afford to, you, once again, like, you just wiggle, like, in and out of this bush, right? Because then, while you tank the minions, like, you
take less aggro.
Yeah, because they don't even get the auto off, right, if you do it fast enough.
Yeah.
If you're scared of this Garen, like, walking around and all in you, like, that's another thing, then that's fine. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think that is something I actually need to work on, like the wiggle part. Probably will do it in practice too. It's pretty good.
And a lot of the time, if you're just looking to freeze as well, like, instead of freezing like over here in lane, you can just pull it all the way to the second bush, even if you know you're not getting all in by your opponent, and then it's like, this is
and then it pushes even faster.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good.
It pushes faster, and you have to take, you don't take as much damage, etc.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think at some point I'd consider here like breaking the freeze, not because it's like good to break the freeze, in that sense, but he still can't reset until he's crashed. Agreed. Like, even if we were to crash right now, like start building a slow push and crash, he can't freeze or like a reset, right? Agreed.
Yeah.
So he has to still push it and like off the bounce back and then crash it, and then he can reset, right? So if we can get that push in, and then TP back, and then we spend our gold, and on top of that we get our HP back, it means that over here, like when we're starting to get close to level 6 and we've both traded HP now, he's just half HP for fun, and we have like way more gold spent and like just higher HP bar, right? So we can just all in him on level 6. If we think we can all in him here anyways, I don't hate it, like in that sense, then just fucking do it, you know, for all I care, on level 6. But yeah, that's one thing to consider, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, here, I wouldn't stand so far back when we're about to level up. Like, because he doesn't seem to be playing like we're about to level up, and for all I care, it's like this minion will die to tower. If we want to, we can even dash on our creep as we're leveling up, and he's just gonna die.
Yeah, I agree. Play with the level up timer better. build the wave again.
Yeah, just because you were scared of him resetting, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I mean, maybe here I would consider like E-ulting him. It will push the wave, but we can consider staying after.
Yeah.
But it's still fine.
Or I'm scared he will flash my ability, so I just basic him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You kill him with basics, so.
Yeah.
Like, there might be a world where he, like, still flashes afterwards, like, or I mean, where he flashes here. If he does, like, we won't kill him. Because I assume he's playing with,
No, I think I kill him anyway.
Or not null magic mantle, but the other thing. Yeah.
The face. I think I kill him anyways because I tried to hug him like when I basically attacked him.
Yeah, no, I get that in that sense. It's just like Nimbus Cloak, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, we might kill him anyways. But either way, it's still a good play, right? Do you always rush boots on R or no?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I was just double check.
I think here it's not always that I would TP here, but I think Garen is one of those few champs that really benefit from like greeding TPs because then he will go to proxy if it's a bad matchup.
I think there's a few things like with TPing before 10, right? Like if we're playing versus his Ignite, or even if he has TP, let's say it's another champion, and we never use our TP before 10, it just means we're kind of playing a summoner spell down for 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually, even if there are times where we like could save TP because it's not like a perfect time to TP, I would like to use it, you know? For example, like pre-6 there, I would look to expend my TP just to get a small resource lead, just because like otherwise we're never using it before 10 minutes, right? We use it here, but it's slightly like less good in that sense.
Yeah. But I was scared like him just dodging lane from this point on.
Yes, no, it's completely fine to TP here. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's like, even if it's not like a perfect TP angle where we don't need to, like for example, we could save it. Often, like at least in solo queue, right? Unless you think your like bot lane is gonna get dove at some point, I would just, you know, expend TP like to get a small tempo lead.
Yeah.
Maybe not on the first reset, like, but on the second one usually. Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be too scared of getting ganked at all right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Nidalee bot side now as well, so. It's like one thing we don't have to be scared of is like crashing waves, like we can use Pokemon on the tower like we just did. And we're just completely chilling, and anytime we want to, like this wave will just bounce back to us after we hard shove it, so we can just freeze on them again if we really want to.
Yep.
I wouldn't E here. Like, I get why we do it, and it's like if he doesn't W, he's just dead. But I would just walk towards him, you know, and just make him feel uncomfortable. And if he doesn't W, then we ult.
Yeah.
And if he does W, then we ult after it.
Yeah. But the problem there is like he queued me, right? So if I ult and I'm silent, I can't jump out either way.
Yes, no, that's not my fear in that sense, right? Like we can see if he's queuing or not, right? Like we don't have to be melee range to ult him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Like if he's standing over here and we're standing over here, like we can still ult him.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Like I'm just like my only like for me it's like he should be worried here, right? Because he has to use his like what's called W, right, to not die here, basically.
Yeah.
So I would just play slow.
I should probably not Q there as well. I should probably I should go melee range and Q basic afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, it's alright, I think.
There, I think I'm big. I think
Yeah,
I got.
it's a bit
If I go,
option.
yeah. I think I pinged for help here because Nida was trying to cancel my recalls, but
yeah,
kept farming.
yeah. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate.
I think like when he gets the wave in, I'm dead either way if Morgana doesn't help me, because Nidalee was still there.
Yeah. What is the plan now?
I mean, at this point, it's kind of unplayable for him. I can just build him on the turret and take plates.
Yeah.
I think when you get boots plus Phage, it's kind of this champ is really online. You got so much movement speed.
Yes. I think already at boots, it's like really hard for this guy to play, as we saw.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like if he can't catch us, he can't do shit.
Yep.
How come we decide to ult this wave?
Like, I think I will not need ult to kill this guy. That's probably what I thought. Or maybe, I'm not sure actually.
Because for me, it's a bit awkward here, right? Because it's like we can ult, but it's like right now he's still a mega, so he's not like scared of anything, right? If he catches wave initially.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like we get anything out of using the ult in that sense, right? I don't hate like pushing with ult, but yeah. It's like if we're scared of Nidalee here, maybe it makes some sort of sense. Like if we're scared of getting ganked straight away, but then I wouldn't even go poking around the river too much, I think.
Yeah, true.
Because this Nidalee is quite strong at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it ends up good, so we take it, but yeah.
Yeah, but it was not because the ult. It was kind of...
Yeah, and it's like, the thing is, right, like most waves, like melees, we struggle to kill a bit as Gnar, usually.
Yeah.
In mega form, but it's like, now the melees are kind of dead anyways. Range creeps, we can like, usually just press Q on. I get that we don't have Q here, but it's like, we can, if we want to, just wait 1 second, get our WE, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because in like mega form, we have so much wave clear anyways, right? Like, I don't hate using, as said, the ult for wave clear. Like, if it's a cannon wave, or if it's like melee creeps are full HP and we need a reset or something. Like, I think range creeps we won't tap anyways.
-1.
Yeah, lucky. Yeah, I mean, plates are despawning, so I don't hate it. Normally I wouldn't push plates here, but I would out-tech the first one. Like, generally the rule I have is that when enemy top laner is about to respawn, unless you plan on staying in lane, of course, I would like DP or something. Like, unless you're planning on, like, for example, like here, taking plates before they despawn, then it's like, when enemy top laners respawn like this, you reset. Because otherwise he's walking back to lane, and you're just gonna be too late.
But I kind of knew, like, I spam pinged my team to back off the...
Yes.
So I kind of wanted him to, like, get baited into following Nidalee. And then I get, like, 2 plates for free.
Yeah. No, as I said, I think it's, like, fine, and it's, like, some stuff is going on, so I don't hate it, but yeah. And, like, it's basically always gonna be, like, plates for free, right? Like, most of the time we're not gonna lose, like, the entire next wave. So.
Yeah. Here I think I can kill him, like, if I just play correctly. I think I ult wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate.
I think it's so hard hitting those kind of ults on R sometimes.
Yes, on the turret in general, it's not super easy. Because the hitbox is a bit scuffed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if he has like Ignite, or Flash for that matter. But otherwise we can just ult him into us, and I think he's dead anyways.
Yeah, I think I should just ult backwards, honestly.
Yeah, he does have Phase Rush, so maybe it's like we don't kill him afterwards, like Phase Rush is fucking OP rune.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, like, and honestly, like, we can just ult him off the stun as well, right? We don't technically have to, like, wait as long as we do.
Yeah.
I get why we do it, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only benefit you get from waiting a bit is you get another rotation of Q.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like nice if we need it, right? I'm not sure we need it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Here I would probably go through with my auto first before I W here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a small thing in general. Alright, what is the plan now?
I mean, the plan right now is just trying to choose one side and pressure second turret since I'm stronger and create space for my team.
Yeah.
And I have TP as well, so I can always like if I create space, they choose to not respond. I can either take like tier 2 or help with team with TP.
Yeah. So I don't hate Cleaver as an item in general. Like I think it's fine, but I prefer Sterex this game because right now Garen doesn't have much armor, and it's on top of that like your team is quite squishy. So
yeah, I agree. I think the only benefit like that I really like with Cleaver is that you get another Phage movement speed item.
Yeah, it's not bad. Alright, I don't mind the CP. What happened here? No. Like a report support. Yeah, I mean, we're chilling quite hard here. We're just kind of fist fighting, and the enemy's walking into us, and we're stronger, so.
Yeah, movement speed, diff. You got troll here. I didn't respect the line.
Yeah, I mean, there's like in general, all about split pushing is just about counting heads on the map, right? It's like not more complicated than that. We see that they're making a topside play, so like I don't hate it in that sense, but like if we want to get out here as fast as possible, I mean, we probably kill this Nami, to be honest. I can not mind she flashes, it's a bit unlucky, but
yeah, I think like I should only do this play if Morgana is not hitting Drake. Like if she hovers me, like of course then it's a good play, I think. But I think it's too risky to do it alone.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, because in general here, I mean, we see Navi walking bot side, we see Garen here, so we know we're getting rotated on, right? We're still fine, for all I care. Like, we just eat this direction, and we ult him this direction, and we're chilling, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's just that we kind of like, I mean, here we're still fine, right? It's just that we take the fight.
Yeah.
I don't mind us hitting tower, but yeah. And we can probably maybe still be fine as well here, like, if we just insta-rush for the, or like plant, but, I mean, obviously we try to kill her, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's a bit of limit test, it's alright.
I feel like Nor is like the good part about Nida top lane, but but you have scaling.
Yeah, to an extent.
After this, I think game is over.
Yeah, I mean, it goes on for a bit, but yeah, I mean, game is basically over, right? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what I ran. This is fine. I was gonna say I'm not sure what enemy team comes, but it's alright this game.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they had like triple crit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have Tristana, Lucian, Garen, so.
I think I pushed them away here solo, like there were 4 people or something. Walked into them.
Yeah. I mean, I assume we'll send off next push. Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much else. It's like, one thing to consider is like both these games, like your champions scale quite well in comparison to enemy champions, I would say. So I like playing a lot for the denial, etc. as well, right? Like, I'm not gonna say I don't, right? But I think there are times where you can accelerate yourself a bit more by playing more aggressive. And playing more for kills, and it's like, I think the main thing is just like, as long as you're ahead of tempo of the enemy, like, I'm not sure like how much you think about tempo in general, well, by playing. But it's like, as long as you're ahead of this guy in tempo, it means he cannot play the game, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it means you can control wave state, it means you can control if he can go proxy or not, it means you can freeze on him, it means you can push for plates, etc., right? It means you push whatever. Right? And it's the same thing in this game, right? As long as you have tempo over this Aurelia, like, she's not gonna play the game unless she's strong enough to all-in you, right? Which, in this game, she was never in a point to do, right? Agreed?
Yeah.
So, in general, like, when we feel like we are in a strong spot, right? I don't hate, like, denying, right? But this freeze, as I said, it will always come back, right? Because we just need to start building a slow push, 2 waves, crash a big wave, right? We can play 1 or 2 plates while crashing, poker to half HP. It crashes back to us, or bounces back to us, rather, and then we freeze again.
Yeah.
And then she's forced to make a bad decision. She either has to have Kha'Zix bail her out, or just take a bad reset, or whatever, right? Or outplay us to hope, like, she gets a reset, or like the crash anyways, but usually she's gonna die then, right?
Yeah.
So, by freezing her, like, it doesn't mean you're not gaining a resource advantage, I'm not gonna say that, right? But it means that if something happens on the bot side of the map, it means that we can easily, like, get fucked over in the game because of it, right? Because we're no longer the strongest person. And on top of that, it's like, just because we decide to hard shove a few waves, doesn't mean that, like, we don't deny her still, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's like one thing in general to think about. I think your limit knowledge, like on these 2 champions at least, is like not perfect. It's like fairly fine, but there are some times where we can all in a bit sooner. Like on Aurora, I think it makes sense. I'm not sure how much Gnar you've played in general.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot.
Yeah, no. So then it makes sense, right? Like, if we don't know the exact limits on like these 2 champions in that sense, right? Generally, one thing I recommend to most people, I mean, you don't seem to have like that much of a problem with like keeping to a champion pool as to other people I've seen. But it's like in general, you're sticking to like a few champions, right? 5 champions in solo queue, right? And if you play comp as well, right? You play sol.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want to have more champions to play in competitive, you usually play them on a Smurf, is what I recommend. And you have like 3 to 5. Yeah. And then you have like 3 to 5 champions you use Triard with, which, I mean, it seems to be fine in general, right? But it's like, well, for example, we picked Gnar like 2 games here. And maybe it's something we've been spamming on Smurf and that we feel comfortable picking up for main, so then it's fine, but yeah. So like these are the main 2 things, and then after the early game, I would say both of these games were kinda decided in a sense. Yeah, we saw a quick glimpse of it here, I guess, where we die, like where it's like, be a bit careful about counting heads on the map, right?
Yeah.
I would say something in the early game that I do notice is that we rarely go for like deep wards. Even though we have like control over lane, and part of it is due to us freezing. And in solo queue, it can be a bit more fine because, well, if you have like, I mean, let's say this ward, right? Obviously you didn't place this, I'm fairly certain at least.
I didn't.
Then it's like, if like enemy jungler shows on the top side of the map, it doesn't mean that your bot lane all of a sudden will play more aggressive or less aggressive or whatever, right? They will probably play the same way and they will not give a shit because it's solo queue, agreed?
Yeah.
In comp play, these wards are very important, right? So if you can get the push, and you can spend one of your pushes into going into enemy jungle, and for example getting this ward, maybe getting a ward on like enemy raptor entrance or something like this, right? Anytime enemy jungler goes into top side, you will see him, right? Which means that anytime he goes into top side, you can play differently, and this guy can play, or these guys can play differently. And on top of that, if you do not see him, you know exactly where he is, right? He's just in bot side, agreed? So you know from one push exactly where enemy jungler is the entire game, agreed?
Yeah.
Right, so we just play out of that, right? And it's like, playing through vision like that, I'm not saying you need to buy control wards in solo queue, I don't give a shit, right? But it's like, just going for the deep wards, like, for example, I was thinking here, at one point, can't remember exactly where it was, but we were quite strong in the game, right? And it's like, I was thinking, oh, well, if we can go for a deep ward at some point, it can be quite nice, right? Like, just after a push, right? And these are things you can think about, right? Like, because, well, generally we play the 1v1, right? And it ends up being fine, but it's something to consider.
Yeah, I usually like, I really like deep warding the Krugs, like by the Krug wall, usually. Because you can have, like, if you pinpoint your ward on, like, the pixel of the bush at Krugs, you can see Krugs as well as the bush. So I like that ward a lot. But on if I play red side, I think, like, the best deep ward, in my opinion at least, is like just having it outside Herald and Grub's pit.
It can be fine, but even having it here is like quite good a lot of the time.
Yeah, true. But usually usually they sweep around there.
Yeah.
If they've seen you out of vision, so I think like having them out of Grubs, they usually don't have sweeper.
Right, and that can make sense, but then the question, I mean, I can agree on that, but it's just a question about like, okay, does it matter if they sweep it or not, right? Or does it already accomplish what we want, right?
Yeah.
Usually my recommendation is that we don't like place control ward super deep unless it's like kind of cheesy in a sense, or not cheesy, but like here, for example, like people will usually walk through the bush, so it just stays there forever, and same thing with this one, right?
Yeah.
So like these control wards can be fine, but otherwise like I would just recommend placing normal wards, right? Because otherwise we're just wasting gold. But I get what you mean as well. I like placing this ward like on the edge of the wall, if that makes sense, like at the end of the wall.
Yeah.
But it's like in general, like it's just so that whenever enemy jungle goes into top side, right? Because it's like for you it helps having a ward here. You know what I mean? For example, but it doesn't maybe help your bot lane in that sense, right? And that's what I'm trying to go to. Like, because if we spot him topside, it means your bot lane can play differently.
Yep, it's true.
And if you don't spot him topside with your ward, then it just means, oh, well, I'm not getting ganked. And that's good for you, that's not what I'm saying. If you don't have a timer to, like, go for a deeper ward, that's completely alright, right? If you do have a timer to go for a deeper ward, I prefer that in that sense. Because it helps your entire team, not just yourself in that sense.
Yeah, but I think also, like, solo queue pathing in the current meta is really predictable. In solo queue, at least. So I think in solo queue deep wards are of course you know where it is, but you can usually know where it is if you just analyze the map correctly.
I agree. In solo queue it's not as important, like as I said, because another thing is your teammates will probably just not play different based on where jungle is anyways. Like they will not give a shit.
Yep.
So it's like it's mainly for comp play, right, in that sense. But yeah. And then unless you have any other questions, then yeah, well this is basically what I have with these two votes.
Yeah, it was very good. I will definitely work on some more aggression, I think. Like, I had some opportunities which you showed where I can definitely play more aggressive, even if I play with the freeze that I build up.
Yeah.
Just play towards the bush, and also, like, pulling waves into bushes. I should work on that as well.
Yeah, sounds good, man. And then let me know how it goes. Hope it helps. And yeah, we'll see you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
See ya.
Yeah, see you, man.